Hey, you gotta love NBA trades that happen right before training camp, because my man Karl Anthony Towns, he was all prepared for spending another beautiful winter in Minnesota. Oh, but not so fast. You have been traded to the New York Knicks, Cat. Karl, hope you've brushed up on your Villanova basketball. My head is still spinning from this trade, or maybe it's my new allergy medicine. We're talking all about it in today's video. Welcome everybody, my name is Troy and this is the Half Court Report. Be sure you click that thumbs up button and subscribe for some of the best NBA content that you're going to find on YouTube. So here's the trade. The New York Knicks receive four-time All-Star big man Karl Anthony Towns. The Knicks are sending to the Timberwolves Julius Randle, guard Dante DiVincenzo, forward Keita Bates-Diop, and a future first-round pick via the Detroit Pistons. Oh, Keita Bates-Diop, we barely knew ye. According to The Athletic, with Cat, the Knicks acquired the player that they've pursued for years. They contacted the T-Wolves about Towns a couple of years ago, and then again last season. So this is some interest that has been a long time coming. After winning 50 games last year, the Knicks have made significant moves to upgrade a roster built around their all-star point guard Jalen Brunson. You'll recall that earlier this offseason, they acquired Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets, and they re-signed forward OG Anunoby, who they traded for from the Toronto Raptors last year. And they also lost Isaiah Hartenstein, one of the most underrated big men in the NBA. So this new Knicks team is looking very different than what we saw when the season ended. For what it's worth, Towns grew up a Knicks fan while living in Jersey, and he actually played for current Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau when he had that cup of coffee coaching for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And of course, you'll hear stories about how that relationship was a little bit strained. Maybe they butted heads from time to time, but it seems they have moved past that and there are no ill feelings between the player and the coach as it stands now. But Towns brings a couple of elements the Knicks desperately need, especially with current starting center Mitchell Robinson targeting a December return at the earliest following off-season ankle surgery. But of course, Robinson and Towns have completely different games. Towns, one of the best shooting big men in the NBA. And for the Knicks, they only have Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims as their other centers on this roster. So adding a guy like Towns to the mix is a huge, huge move. It's a game changer. According to Zach Harper with The Athletic, he does question the inclusion of Dante DiVincenzo in this trade since he did have such a great season last year, his first with New York. But on the plus side, his exit will open up more playing time for Deuce McBride, who the Knicks and Knicks fans are very, very high on. He also questions how much Tom Thibodeau and Karl Anthony Towns will see eye to eye during this stint in New York. Looking back when he played for Minnesota, Towns would often talk about the defensive tenets that were utilized in his time with the Kentucky Wildcats, as Tibbs was pleading with the team to buy in defensively to what he wanted the Timberwolves to do. But Towns has the capability to be a good defensive player, and we know that because prior to Rudy Gobert coming to Minnesota, there was always that 1 month of the season in which Cat played great defense, and you'd start talking yourself into him finally figuring it out or turning the corner on that end of the floor. Then his bad tendencies would come back, they would rear their ugly head again. Towns would be too aggressive going for blocks or not timely enough to actually affect the shot, and that would get him in foul trouble, get him out of position. And he also struggles with help positioning and rotations when he is the primary defensive big man. So that's going to be a big thing we're going to have to follow as he plays for the Knicks now. Because the Knicks badly need Karl Anthony Towns to be solid defensively. They're going to be up against an incredible Boston offense, a potentially dangerous Philadelphia squad, and don't forget Giannis with the Bucks, playing with Damian Lillard, who's just going to pick and roll you to death. Not to mention teams like Orlando, Indiana, Cleveland, all established or becoming more established this coming year. Didn't even mention Miami. Can't ever forget about them. New York desperately needs Towns to play the best, most consistent defense of his career and to rebound against physicality. The good news is that when Mitchell Robinson is back for New York, he and Towns can play alongside each other with that inside-outside big man play. Towns showed that often with Rudy Gobert in Minnesota that he can play pretty well with another 7-footer. So even though this is a talent upgrade in the front court where the Knicks were lacking, there are still questions about why this is the move that the Knicks chose to make. Their floor definitely raised, but do they have a higher ceiling after this trade? Personally, I think they do, and I think this plants them as one of the top 3 seeds in the Eastern Conference. And I think the defense of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby will help to cover any of the lapses that Karl Anthony Towns does have. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What was your reaction to this trade? Since you've watched this far, make sure you drop a like for the YouTube algorithm and hit that subscribe button too so you never miss another NBA video from me. I am so pumped about the new season starting up. It can't get here fast enough. Check out some of the other videos I have on this channel, and I'll catch you next time on the Half Court Report. Have a great day.